Did you create your own crypto?
Okay,
Crook
no,
coins?
it's not a crypto thing. Um,
What?
no, yeah, it's just it's it's currency for Twitch. You can use it to redeem stuff like making us drink water or whatever. I know you
Well,
guys are new to Twitch, even though you've been using it
I can make a
vicariously through
Kirby
me.
for 1,000 Crooks coins,
You could.
or unlock a random sub,
I
or
need to
choose an
shut
emote
those off
to.
too. I am not turning on the cam tonight, guys.
You never turn on the
Uh,
cam. I never expect the video to be on.
Listen, when I put the video on, it's usually, it's I got nothing.
that ended very quickly.
All right, we've gone live. You want to get this started?
yeah.
Okay. Guys, welcome to Crook and Murder. I am Kenny Crook Irish Kirby. My brain's a little disheveled because I spent the entire day watching Friends while tucked underneath my covers because I got a new memory foam mattress from Best Western.
Wait, what?
They
Like,
bought a whole bunch of memory foam mattresses for each of their rooms. And I guess the upper elites of Best Western were like, no, we want pillows, like mattresses or some shit. So they gave away them all, and these are only a couple months old.
What?
Yeah. So
Wait, no, you got a used Best Western mattress?
look, I try not to think
next
about
thing
it
we
too
know,
much.
he's gonna be
It's
like, guys, I can't do the podcast next week. I got
Oh
bed
my god.
bugs.
I don't look.
I
I don't
got
have bed bugs.
crabs.
Kirby's gonna come back to us and he's gonna be like, you're never gonna believe what happened. I'm pregnant.
Do you know why they gave them away?
Yeah, because they wanted pillow top mattresses.
Well, no. Do you know why they didn't try to sell them? Because it's illegal to sell a used mattress in most states.
Wait,
Well, yeah,
really?
Yeah,
probably.
it is.
I did
It's
not know that.
the it's only a couple months old, so
That seems like a weird law.
I don't think I'm going to be getting whatever. Look, most of my mattresses throughout my life have been used anyways, and
Yeah,
this
no
is
one's judging you, man. That's a great deal.
it's a fantastic deal. And it's a super upgrade from my futon mattress that I was sleeping on that made my arm hurt. So now I got like a
That
real
is
bed.
that's a good upgrade. I can
Yeah.
appreciate that. But no, those laws aren't weird. They're in place to prevent people from like selling shit that's infested with bed bugs.
How do you get rid of a mattress?
Well, I feel like that should
You just
be
give it to
on the
someone.
onus of the buyer. You always check your product.
You can't see bed bugs most of the time though.
That's why you get magnifying glasses or fucking something. I'm sure you can somehow.
I've never had bed bugs. I thought I had scabies once, but let's not get into that.
I had scurvies once.
Well,
Scurvy?
I haven't woken up
No,
with
I
any
didn't. I
bed
didn't. I
bugs
didn't have
or
scurvies.
pregnancies or sperm.
There's a
There's an
bad echo.
echo somewhere. Yeah, I think that's you, Kirby.
That's me. I'm working on something. Okay.
That's better.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to Crook and Murder. I just got a new mattress. I spent the whole day watching Friends and eating bonbons. And I'm Kenny Crook Irish Kirby. I'm joined today by my co-host Maxwell Murder.
I'm actual murder, and I most of my mattresses I found out by the dumpster, so I can't really say anything.
And of course, as always, special guest Alex.
They don't allow me to sleep on a mattress.
We
No, we
sent
don't.
you one made of pillows that we stitched
Yeah,
together.
but I am stuck in this room, and there's no way for me to get the delivery.
You
That-
sent pillows? I thought we were sending him a cardboard box.
No, we don't want to upgrade him too much.
Okay.
He could draw pictures on the box.
My
Oh.
yearly bonus is just one more. Not even a whole cardboard box. It's just one wall of a
Yeah.
cardboard box, one side.
Soon you'll have a rocket ship.
Today we're going to be discussing King Solomon. I chose this topic, A, because it's going to lead directly into our next quote-unquote season of content, which we're going to be talking about the various denizens of hell. And B, I've always like heard King Solomon. King Solomon did this. King Solomon did that. And I'm like, I've never really fully got the like story of King Solomon. So I wanted to go out and research it. And it's kind of fascinating. He's become a legend of his own right.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like different tellings of the Solomon story, whether it's like the biblical one or the Kabbalic one or the Talmudic, or not Talmudic, the rabbinical one. There's like, and then there's the esoteric one, which I think we're mostly interested in the esoteric sort of Solomon.
Yeah, we were gonna do King Solomon in two parts. One with like the historical accuracy of King Solomon, and the other one like the magical side of King Solomon. But I was like, that's kind of fucking boring. So we just
The
made
the
one of
video game side.
yeah, we just made one of fucking all the cool shit that King Solomon did.
Yeah, he did a lot of cool shit. You know, he had a lot of wives and a lot of concubines.
Dude, he got laid like constantly. There's even rumors that he
Yeah,
banged Cleopatra. So there's that.
that's. I
Wait,
think the time doesn't
that
work
that
on that
that
one, but
timeline doesn't work out.
Hold on,
yeah.
let me look at this.
Don't you
Alexander the
mean?
Great has rumored to bang Cleopatra.
No, I'm sorry, that was Julius Caesar, and then after him it was the other one, his like adopted son.
Was it Julius Caesar?
Yes, it was Julius Caesar and not Brutus, uh, Mark Antony. They both banged her, and it's a historical fact. It's not rumor.
All
Didn't you
right.
guys take history, like classics?
Yeah,
Mm,
but I really thought Alexander the Great was the one that was banging Cleopatra.
It was after that.
you know, he
It's like
banged some famous chick.
he fucked Pharaoh's daughter.
Ooh, King Solomon?
Yeah,
Yeah, that would make sense.
she wasn't Cleopatra, but it was Pharaoh's daughter.
All right,
All
you
right.
ready to take this off,
Yeah,
Alex?
I'm gonna skip the intro because we kind of just gave it an intro.
She had a son with Caesar.
So, all right. Enough about Caesar. We're here to talk about Solomon.
Yeah, go
Damn
write
it.
your own podcast about Caesar.
Yeah.
Fuck
Call
the
it
fuck
Maxwell
the
Caesar the
Hellenics.
Great.
Fuck
All
them.
right. So we're gonna start with I guess, the religious version of who King Solomon was. He was obviously Solomon or Jedediah. I actually know a Jedediah in real life.
Good old
Maybe he's the
Jed.
Is he
Yeah, I
Mormon?
do. He is not Mormon, but he is one of those crazy evangelical crazy people. I
I
mean,
mean,
he's
Yeah.
cool, and they were all cool, but they were part of like a new age Christian fucking group here that was like
now
they
this is
seemed
important.
kind
Did
of
he give
nuts.
himself the name Jedediah, or
No,
was
of
I
he
course
born with it?
not. No, he was
So
born with that name.
he was like prophesized to be the child of
no.
this
Yeah.
Well,
He's
technically,
evangelical
none
talking
group.
about
of us are
Solomon.
born with names, so he was he was given that name after his birth.
Okay, so we can
Uh,
just give ourselves any name we want.
The first moment of enslavement in a world of cruel, cruel torture and suffering.
Then call me Jay
Alex
Z
has
from
been
Moab.
nihilist. If I remember right, Jedediah was like like a mistranslation, but he had kind of two names.
But all right, so his different names meant peaceful and friend of God, which we will find out neither are true.
Well,
He,
I
he
mean,
was he was the second born son to King David and his wife Bathsheba. David had sent Bathsheba's husband into battle so he would die and David would be able to bang his wife. This in turn led to the death of David's first son. I'm assuming like karma, like God was like, fuck that.
uh,
Can you
David and Solomon in the Bible, or the Old Testament, whatever you want to call it, they are supposedly like lessons of like sin.
Yeah,
Like they
I mean that makes
defy
sense.
God's word and like shit happens. But in both, so I'd say in Judaism, both are revered as like actually like really great sort of like historical figures. I think the New Testament sort of plays it up to be as like they weren't as pure as Jesus. Because
Yeah, of course. Of course those
in the
Jesus freaks would say that.
well, yeah, in the Torah, Solomon and David are both prophets, and Jesus is the only prophet, I think, to Christians.
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, define God's word. Like, he basically came to Solomon and was like, here's a bajillion dollars, but don't go
Yeah.
to Key West and buy jet skis and bang hot babes. And that's exactly what he did.
I mean,
My theory is that if we actually could hear God's words, our heads would just explode immediately.
well, actually, that is sort of like canon within like Judaism.
Oh man,
Like,
maybe I should become a
is-
Jew. The more I talk to you, Max, the more I learn about Judaism, I'm like, man, maybe I should convert to being a Jew.
Okay, look, my view of Judaism is really weird and mystical. It's because I love the Kabbalistic teachings. So I'm not like
Right.
every other Jew.
So Solomon was the ruler of Israel and Judah.
Judah.
Is
The name of my
is
son.
is a person?
No,
No,
the
that's
land
a
of
city.
Judah was north. The land of Judah was north of Israel. That was one
Gotcha.
of the 13 tribes, 12
Uh,
tribes, whatever.
And it's
Believe-
also a person because it's technically Max's son.
Yeah, that's a
Believe-
name, but yeah.
Believed to have reigned from 970 to the fall of 931 BCE when he died of natural causes. He ascended. He ascended. Yeah, natural causes. All right. He ascended the throne at the age of 15 and immediately began a purge of David's cabinet, installing his friends there instead. So,
I mean,
Again.
yeah.
not so peaceful, bro.
God kind of saw us
Well-
apparently as wise and calm. Also,
Yeah.
You know what they
welcome-
should do for the next Purge movie is they should do a historical drama. Fucking Solomon fucking purging the cabinet.
Oh, I fucking hate this movie so much.
Well, welcome to the podcast, Lord of Old Door Frames. We're glad you're here.
What up? No, okay, so just to give some context, I did a lot of research like on this the last week. David's cabinet had become David again, this is what both of these guys were like a lesson of sin in the Bible. So like David had become like I don't know, like he was given how do I put it? He was given jobs to nepo babies.
Oh, so he turned into America.
He was a Hollywood.
Yeah,
that was it.
He's making Israel America.
David did good things at the end. He started building the first temple, but he kind of had a lot of lackeys.
He also greatly expanded his military strength when he came into power, focusing on his cavalry and chariot arms. He founded many colonies, like every great nation does, right? Which doubled his trading posts and military fronts. Trade was his major goal, amassing tons of gold, silver, and other supplies. I'm assuming condoms was not one of them. This made him one of the
No.
wealthiest kings. Solomon was an avid builder. He created the first temple in Jerusalem, which is dedicated to Yahweh.
Yahweh, yeah.
Yahweh, or God. He also created irrigation and great waterways for his kingdom. And most prominently, though, was his palace. Stretching across a complex of buildings, the palace was said to be a city unto itself.
So let me ask you
So-
a question, Max.
Yeah.
Would you say Christianity made King Solomon look bad as a way to disparage the Jews?
No. So it's a kind of it's a hard question to answer because like again him and David were considered prophets, right? So like they were like flawed prophets, which is like all the prophets that everyone that Jews see as a prophet is flawed because the Old Testament is more like parables. The Torah is like parables. The New Testament is like a story of a desert wizard and a bunch of his gay lovers. So, and I'm not disparaging that. I think it's great that they were open at that time and out of the closet.
Very
Um,
progressive.
Not to get too off topic, but I have a buddy that's in the camp that Jesus was trans, which I love.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love it. Anyways, I would say that when Christians talk about the prophets of the Old Testament, it's not about what they did that was good. It's about the fall. Whereas there's a lot of rabbinical writings that either focus on the sin and the fall but they all of them focus on like the first temple is actually really sacred to Jews, which is why like Jerusalem is such a fucking shit show because everyone believes there's a temple supposed to be there, but there's a mosque where supposedly the first and second temples were. So like uh he did a lot of like if you look at it from like a political point of view and like a military point of view and the trading outposts, you know, we say colonies, but this was all like within a very small area in the Middle East and North Africa. Um, he was ahead of his time, right? Like he was. It wasn't like Nixon going to China. It was
Yeah,
like
he was the what's the guy in Mongolia there? Why can't I think of his name?
Khan.
Yeah, he was basically like their version of
Genghis Khan.
him.
Wait,
No, actually, well, I wouldn't say that because he didn't conquer. He was more about like trading with people. Like he
Yeah,
married.
but yeah, so it was different. But Genghis Khan brought a lot of technological development to
Yes,
that part of the
yes,
world.
he
wait.
did. He did.
So hold
So,
up.
but like,
A
oh,
temple
Or I
lost to
should say like infrastructural
a temple
development.
lost to
yes.
time with tons of money in it. My question is, why the fuck was Indiana Jones 4 about aliens when it could have been looking for Solomon's temple?
Well,
Dude, because George
te-
Lucas got his grimy little hands on it.
but technically, the first one was all about a treasure that was in Solomon's temple.
Oh, the Lost Ark?
Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant was in his temple.
Wait, did he wield the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, Jews did
Well,
until
he didn't wield it. The Nazi did,
yeah.
and it killed him.
No. So this is like an offshoot. I'm not going to go too much far into it, but like basically for like thousands, like hundreds of years, the uh, the Ark of the Covenant, Aaron's rod, and a bunch of other like sort of like magical artifacts were kept in the temple. That's why the temple was built, basically.
All
And
right.
when I say Aaron's rod, I don't mean his dick.
Well, okay.
I mean, that's what I immediately thought of first.
That's immediately what I thought of first too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Oh,
I guess
he
I'm
also
glad you made the clarification. I don't know if you needed to make the clarification,
Aaron's
but
you
golden
guys will like
penis.
you guys will like so basically he had all artifacts of Moses. So Aaron was Moses' brother. He had a rod. Moses had the Ten Commandments. And then while they were wandering through the desert for 40 years, they were fed this thing called manna from God. And supposedly Solomon had a vial of manna as well.
yeah, I know what mana was.
Indiana Jones and the golden penis.
It
Like,
was
boom.
God's demon.
I just wrote
Boom.
a
Oh my
better
God.
Indiana Jones 4.
Dude, the new chick could be in that.
All right. So to get a little bit back on topic here,
Yeah,
well, I
sorry,
mean,
sorry.
none of that was off topic, but
Okay.
to get directly back into Solomon, he sacrificed to God and asked for the wisdom to lead his people correctly, essentially making him a very wise prophet. Pleased with
Yes.
this, God granted him great wisdom. Had his own book in the Bible called the Testament of Solomon, and his book is no longer considered canonical, though it is believed he wrote Proverbs, uh, uh,
Ecclesiasticals.
Ecclesiasticals,
Ecclesiastes.
and the Song
Ecclesiastes.
of Solomon. What are
Yeah.
those? Those are. Why do I know that word?
They're they're books of the Old Testament.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, to
Yeah.
answer your question, Lord of Old Warframes, Solomon was mentioned in both Christianity and Judaism, as well as the Quran. Like, he's kind of
Yeah.
all over the place. And each has an almost different story of him.
Yeah. So Muslims view him as a prophet too, actually. Muslims are more in line with the Judaic version of Solomon. But I mean it's in the Old Testament, which the Old Testament was built the New Testament was built on the Old Testament, the Quran was built on the Old Testament. So it's all jumbled in there.
All thrown together. One big mixing pot of religions.
Or Abrahamic religions.
All right, and his lust was his downfall, which
Oh
you know
yeah. Oh
wasn't
yeah.
wasn't very wise. So King Solomon was a player, and he had over 700 wives and 300 concubines. Um, were all of those women? We don't know. Probably not, especially
Nah,
back then.
They might have been. I don't know if he had sex with every single one. Some of them were for political reasons, but I'll get into that later.
I mean,
Um,
how can you handle 700 wives? It would be difficult to
you
even deal with
don't.
too.
You don't.
No,
But it's
you
also
don't.
not the same relationship of marriage like now, right? Like
Not at all. Not at
back
all.
then it was just like you're my property.
Well,
You're
yeah,
basically my dog.
yeah. I mean, the concubines he had sex with, the wives were probably for other reasons.
It's what for cooking, cleaning, and doing his laundry.
Well, I mean, just chilling. I don't know.
But probably, I mean, Max is right. Like political relationships,
Yeah,
or maybe
there's a whole thing.
like deals with like property and land and shit like
Oh
that.
shit! So they were his currency.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why. So
In a
he
way,
married
yeah.
Pharaoh. I wanted to get into this later. I'll get into it later. Just continue, Alex.
All right. So, according to biblical literature, the women of his domain were all foreign princesses, and they convinced Solomon to let them worship whichever god they wanted. Uh,
Idolatry.
obvious, Obviously, this greatly offended God. As part of his agreement, required a complete devotion to him, because let's face it, God's kind of a dick. Solomon was warned that his reign and legacy would go forever, so long as he followed that tenet. You know what I just realized?
Hmm.
God doesn't really follow his own commandments. Kind of a
No,
hypocrite.
no.
He's a super
It
big
doesn't.
hypocrite. I don't know why it
It's
took
just,
me fucking so long to realize that. Um,
You know, if we're just living in a computer program like Remnant 2 suggested, uh, technically God would just be the programmer.
all right, we're not having this conversation. We
no.
had this
I'm not gonna.
conversation
I'm not
last
gonna
night.
say what
I'm
God.
fucking
He
ending it
actually
right
the
now.
system administrator.
All right. So, yeah, right. Please enter admin password. However, since he allowed the worship of other deities, this voided the agreement. And after his death, Solomon's legacy fell apart, as well as his kingdom, splitting Israel and Judah once again. Womp womp
Well,
womp.
that's an oversimplification, but his stupid son split the nations. Um, and the one thing I was going to say is, so the story of Solomon marrying Pharaoh's wife. Uh, he Some people claim that and the Queen of Sheba. He married. This was a famous story. He married the Queen of Sheba, and uh, in the Old Testament, it said he didn't have sexual relations with either. It was both were political alliances. But this is something that Christians and Jews, or I should say, new Christians like non-Catholics and Jews and Catholics don't agree on. What is the first commandment? Anyone?
Oh, I know this one. It's
You shouldn't worship any other gods except for me, right?
freedom of
Well,
speech.
that's it. That's the real freedom of speech. No, that's the real one, the original one. I think Christians think it's "Thou shalt not kill," but
I
it
don't think
actually
that's
is.
what I learned in fucking Catholic school.
It's well, you're Catholic. That's why.
Pretty
I am
sure
the
the
Lord
first
thy.
commander.
Okay, all right, all
Pretty
right.
sure the first
I am.
commander was George Washington.
Yes, it was. I am the Lord. I am your Lord thy God. Something something. Worship me. So I don't know. Like I would look. The historical version of Solomon is less of a like, oh, he let all these people worship all. It's not. How should I put it? He let all these people come in and worship their own gods, which in my mind is a good thing. But in religious view, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's very easy to like assume that essentially Solomon died and his kingdom fell into disarray, and people blame that on religious reasons. You know,
yeah. It
because
was his son, really, honestly.
Solomon himself, like the real and the fucking exaggerated version,
Imaginary.
uh, were very good at trading and keeping relations with every country around him. He was like the perfect salesman. So when he died and
Exactly.
his son couldn't keep up that, then yeah, you're gonna lose an entire kingdom that they built up. It'd be like taking over your father's company, while all you want to do is drink away the profits.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. The story is basically like Solomon dies, and his son comes in and basically alienates the kingdom of Judah, which then splits it.
Too bad he couldn't sell the team to Mark Cuban.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? Mark Cuban is doing some great things with prescription drugs right now.
Listen, Elon Musk bought old school Jerusalem, okay, and then renamed
You
it.
imagine if Elon Musk bought Jerusalem? God
Oh
damn.
my, oh my God, that's terrible. Okay,
The things that
I
he's
just had to
saying
look.
lately, he'd probably bomb it out of existence.
This is the country X, formerly known as Jerusalem.
Country X. All right.
Wow.
So we're gonna get into some of the legends of King Solomon. Before I go into this, Ken, are these like is this one legend broken up into parts, or are these different sort of like what if
They're-
scenarios?
Well, no, they're different legends of King Solomon. These are different
Yeah,
stories that are collected.
he had a
Okay.
ton of parables, right? So like,
But
just
what
like
I'm
David,
saying is like not all of these legends are necessarily connected to the other ones, right? Like these are just kind of chunks
This
that
is
you
King
got.
Solomon's story. Like each one
Gotcha.
This
of
is a
these
story, yeah.
are the different
Okay.
things
Yeah,
that he's known for.
yeah.
And so
Like if you remember,
I
I was gonna say David. Yeah, go ahead.
I picked ones that I thought were entertaining and fun. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're like think about King David. King David had that whole thing with the two moms and the baby, where it's like, well, you both want him, we'll just cut the baby in half. And then the actual mom was like, no, no, no.
Yeah,
It's like that.
or think of it like Hercules and the different feats that
Yeah,
he did.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
killing the
And
fucking yeah, you know,
all that good music.
and all that good music. I mean, literally. Hold on, I know this one. Yeah, Danny DeVito singing. I mean, you can't get better than that
Yeah,
with King Solomon.
yeah.
All right. Let's get into some legends here. All right. Solomon basically played the real life World of Warcraft, collecting magical artifacts and owning evil all around him, which I really enjoyed that analogy
He
a
really
lot.
I love it.
The
I
metaphor.
really like it. It's so good.
And so here's one legend. He was given command over all things. God was impressed with the selfless wish Solomon made, so he granted him wisdom and then some. God granted him
Mhm.
wealth beyond measure, as well as command over all jinn and angels on earth. He also had the ability to talk to animals, which would be dope as fucking Dr.
Oh yeah.
Doolittle style. And they would
Oh, he
literally
did.
walk into his kitchen and sacrifice themselves for his meal, which, honestly, if you could talk to animals, I don't think they'd be doing that.
They danced for him before it too.
I'm
That's another
pretty sure
story.
they
They did for
unionize.
sure.
You would unionize before. Yeah. You can only have one chicken a week.
This is the United Chicken Front, and I am talking on behalf of all chickens everywhere. We refuse to sacrifice ourselves in your kitchen anymore.
We will dance for you instead. That was something I just
You know what
learned
they
like
should
yesterday.
do? You know what we should do? We should start writing a graphic novel. This is not related in any way, shape, or form to what we're talking about tonight, but I just had an idea. We should do a graphic novel of Jimmy Hofstra, whatever his name was.
Jimmy Hoffa?
Jimmy Hoffa as chickens. We should do the story of Jimmy Hoffa, but with chickens.
Were you just dropping acid before the episode? Like,
No,
where
but
did you
I
come up
think
with this
Do you mean
idea?
do you want to do something like the comic book Mouse, where it's the Holocaust but with
yeah,
mice and
but
rats?
that's like super serious. I don't want it to be that serious.
Oh, okay,
I
so
want it to be. It needs to be funny and comedic.
Okay, okay, okay.
you want it to be more like that story with the rabbits.
Yes.
Watership Down.
Yeah, Watership Down. Yeah, that one.
Well, Watership Down is also not a very funny book. I don't. This is not. All right. So Jin he put to work collecting wealth and building armories, while angels he had build his temples, though they weren't very happy about it.
Now, just to touch on it real quick, the wish King Solomon
Assholes.
made, because I think like a couple people were given wishes if the story goes right, and a lot of
Yeah.
people were like, "Hey, give me money, or give me wealth, or give me, get me laid." Solomon's wish was essentially, "Give me the wisdom to lead my people," and
Yeah.
God was essentially like, "Whoa, that dude thinks outside the bun like Taco Bell, so he wins the contest."
Are we trying to get Taco Bell as a sponsor?
I would fucking, oh my god, if like I got free chicken, like, listen,
I was
guys,
I was about to say if Taco Bell, if you're listening, anybody working at Taco Bell, we'll take in lieu of payment, like cash money, we'll just take like I don't know, fucking gift cards once in a while to go to Taco Bell.
I
God,
refuse.
we don't die.
I will never, ever, ever sell out this podcast for anything less than a cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell about once a week. So, just shooting it out there, or Taco Bell. If you want your name dropped
Yeah,
every episode, we got you.
we got you, bro.
Eat great, even late.
All right. So then Solomon clapped back at the Pharaoh. This
This
is
is my
another
favorite.
legend. Legend states that Solomon would determine a person's guilt and fate just by looking at him. So kind of like what's that TV show? Why can't I think of it? I can picture the guys from Reservoir Dogs.
Ghost
Is it
Rider.
just called
Oh,
Lie?
Lie to me?
Lie to me? Yeah, lie to me. That dude
I
could
thought
do
you were
this.
I thought you were gonna say the other one with Natasha Lyonne, the really good one, Poker Face.
I haven't watched that, so I don't know.
It's amazing.
I haven't really watched Lie to Me either, but it's the one that popped in my head.
It's
Ah,
kind of
Motivation.
like Friends, how I can determine the fates of the characters by looking them up on Reddit. Did you know that Ross and Rachel eventually end up together? That's
Yes.
that's their ship name. I came up today is
Have
Ras.
you never watched Friends?
I've seen Friends.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if this was like the first time that you were watching
Oh.
like through Friends.
Spoiler alert for everybody out there who hasn't seen Friends. After the spoiler.
All right. So, Solomon used this power effectively, basically using it to dunk on the Pharaoh. And when it came to build the great temple, Solomon needed men, so he asked the Pharaoh's assistance. The Pharaoh was like, "Why the fuck would I do that? He literally commands angels and bangs 1,000 chicks."
Including my daughter.
And so, including my daughter. So he sent those prophesized by astrologers to die within 1 year. This didn't fool Solomon one bit. He took one look at these losers and sent them back with coffins and burial shrouds, and he also sent a message. He told the Pharaoh, "Yo, if Egypt had such a shortage on coffins and burial shrouds, there was no need to send this many men to get them. Next time, just ask me directly."
Damn, son, hype squad for King Solomon.
And I have a date with your daughter tomorrow.
Yep, and I'm banging your daughter. Now I got 1,001 chicks.
And I heard your wife is
Yeah.
all right. This one's my favorite only because it involves a seal. King Solomon was gifted a dope ass seal. Called the Seal of
To be
Solomon.
fair, Alex, this is not an actual seal.
I know, but that's how I picture it when I read it.
Well, also, he could talk to seals, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's
so
just
maybe he just took a fucking seal's face and shoved it onto his letters to imprint the wax each time. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. He just had like a dope ass seal following him around.
Just splat.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so the
What?
Seal of Solomon, which was actually a ring made out of seal, granted him command over the supernatural and over seals. It bore the Star of David on it, though some accounts say it was a pentagram.
No,
Um,
it was a star, David.
And one day a demon was sucking a little boy's thumb, which is pretty fucking pedo if you ask me, and stealing his
Yeah.
life.
Well, it's a demon.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like,
they're not known for
but
doing
do
good
even
shit.
demons need to be pedophiles? Like,
Well,
I feel
Some
like
are.
if a demon was like, touching little boys and shit, he would even go back to hell and say it would be like, man, bro,
no.
find find
No,
another thing.
That's not. He'd get promoted through the Catholic Church.
I don't think.
He's become Pope. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. So Solomon asked the archangel of Michael what to do about this, and he was given a magical ass ring in return, the seal of Solomon. He threw the ring at the demon, who caught it and was enslaved instantly, and then forced him to throw it to the next demon, and so on and so forth, till all the demons were under his command. With this newfound power, he immediately started making demons his personal bitch.
So now he's got demons, jinns, and animals under his control. This is
And
the fucking
angels.
druid class, and he just multi-classed.
I was going to
Into
say
like
he's
a
a
paladin.
warlock. Yeah, he's like a warlock with a subclass of paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all right. He's got nothing on me though.
All
all
right.
right.
The seals. It's true.
So hopefully I pronounced this right. The demon Asmodeus made Solomon his bitch, though. Everyone's just slapping each other on the butt.
It's either Asmodeus or Asmodeus. I've heard it both ways.
Well, then I'm gonna keep saying Asmodeus because that's
Okay.
how I know it. So one day, the wisest man on the planet asked Asmodeus, Prince of Demons, how to effectively control demons, even though he already was fucking controlling demons. So, I really don't think King Solomon was all that fucking wise.
There's a
I don't
couple
know
times
if
I
these aren't in
question.
chronological order.
Well, not necessarily, because he gives him the fucking ring that controls demons. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. And so Solomon handed over the one thing controlling all the demons to the Prince of Demons, which, is kind of, it goes as without saying as well as you would think it would go.
Yeah, this is that moment where he's like, how do I control you guys? And the demon's like, here, give me that ring and I'll show you.
So Asmodeus immediately threw the ring into the ocean, and then chucked Solomon 1,000 miles away into the desert. He then took Solomon's place on his throne, and Solomon wandered the desert, Batman Begins style, got some wait, hold on. Solomon wandered the desert, Batman Begins style, got some strange, and eventually bought a fish, which happened, or a seal, who knows? This is all legends, which happened to have the ring in its mouth. And Solomon re-equipped the ring and stormed back to Jerusalem and beat the shit out of Asmodeus.
Kind of like how Batman Begins.
Do you think when he was about to fight the demon, the ring like magically grew into just like a fucking brass knuckles?
No, I'm pretty sure he was
able to punch
by the power of Grayskull.
Grayskull.
I picture it like. Go ahead.
This is that part in the story where the hero gets cast down, and then he has to re-find the magical artifact that allowed him to beat ass in the first place.
Storytelling has been the same for thousands of years. It really has.
Yeah.
No,
it never really changes.
I just recently watched the Multiverse of Madness again, and I picture it like America. What's her name? America Chavez? Yeah. Where when she hits the Scarlet Witch, like she hits that bitch so hard, she goes into another dimension. That's how I picture this.
Yeah, that's how I assume King Solomon did it. He was just like,
well, speaking of stories, fucking who's it? Kurt Vonnegut, I think.
Yeah.
Alex? Snap back to reality. Whoops, there goes gravity.
Something just happened.
No, sorry. I had my light flickered and then there was like a weird shadow crossing my wall.
Why are you the only one being haunted by ghosts? We talk
Can you
sorts of shit about ghosts.
Can you please let me out of this room? That was really weird. Well, I told you about the fucking dust devil thing the other day, right?
Yeah. I know.
I'm telling you, man, I really gotta stop shit talking ghosts.
You got latched onto, bro. I'm inviting them. I'm like, hey, man, come to my place. And you know what they did for a second? Install my thermos. But you getting attacked by dust devils and shadows on your wall, I want that.
But what I was gonna say is Kurt Vonnegut is famous for a lecture that he did at one of the universities he was teaching at. I don't remember which one. Of basically story structure, and that there's only only 9 story structures known to man or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they all are,
Yeah,
but
one of them's the Lion King, the other one's the Little Mermaid. Uh,
Well, yeah, that's actually it's a really good read actually. I can't remember the 9 story structures, but
you
like
know what I'm
he
talking
breaks
about,
it
though,
down.
right?
Yeah. He breaks it down into like also like 2 act stories, 3 act stories, like all this shit. And he's right. There's only like about 9 real like structures to tell a good story.
Kind of
Yeah.
like
All
how
right.
Marvel found one structure and then just redid it for 1,000 movies.
Well, and then
Dude, yeah,
stopped for some
but
reason.
that's not Marvel's fault, man. That's Disney. Like Disney was like, "Oh, we got a moneymaker here," and now
Yeah,
they're
that's
like pumping
Disney.
all this money into it, and they're like, "Why is it not making as much money anymore?" I don't, I don't understand.
I hate you, Alex.
Don't-
You have ruined Disney for me. I was watching The Mandalorian and like they were attacking some planet and they were about to get attacked by pirate ships and I'm like, I remember Alex saying it always follows the same story. So I'm like, here comes a pirate ship. All right, Din Djarin's going to go attack him. I'm like, oh, there goes Din Djarin. I'm like, it's going to
Yeah,
look like he's going to win for a bit, but then he's going to start to lose, and then he began to win, and then he started to lose, and I'm like, but then he's going to get saved by somebody. And next thing you know, here comes Katie Sackhoff and her fucking
yeah,
ship saving the Mandalorian.
yeah, it's
yeah.
about the size of it.
There's a cameo, and like Star Wars is horrible for this. It's always a cameo.
And it's always
The
the same fucking thing.
what's better is when the cameos are stormtrooper, like Daniel Craig being a stormtrooper, or Jason
Oh yeah,
Sudeikis was a stormtrooper.
Yeah,
that was
Like
better.
I mean,
those are good cameos because it's like you don't see the person, so you just don't know.
Yeah,
You know, D
yeah,
Money being a stormtrooper was fantastic because not a lot of people knew about it, and he wasn't even in the credits. Like that was a great cameo. But when it's like, hey, look, here's Bruce Willis out of fucking nowhere for no reason, and then,
Well, let's come on. Let's. Bruce Willis is going through a tough time. Let's not make fun of Bruce
yeah. Hey,
Willis.
let's be easy on him. Let's be easy. He's having a hard time.
He's having a rough, late stage of life right now. But all right,
Yeah,
let's get to my actual favorite one because who wouldn't fucking love having a fucking goddamn city magic carpet?
yeah.
All right, so King Solomon had a magic carpet. It was a big ass flying carpet, 60 miles long and 60 miles wide, which is fucking ridiculous. We're
he
talking.
was
What is
obviously
that?
compensating for something.
Yeah,
Where do you park
It's
that?
the,
It's like,
it's
hold
the
on, let me
Ferrari
put
of
this in
magic
my
carpet.
giant,
I mean, we're
120-foot
talking.
lot desert.
That's 3,600 square miles. Like, do you know how big that is? It
There
is
you-
absurd.
There
It
used
is
to be a
all
city over there,
absurd.
but I put my carpet on top of it, so it doesn't exist anymore.
It was made of green silk and gold thread. One story recounts him flying around on it with a shit ton of people. Cause yeah, like I said, it's 3,600 square miles.
You can get lost in that. That's like the size of fucking Salt Lake City.
It really is.
Hold on, I very quickly, I should have done this before, but
I think the math might be off.
huh?
Is
No,
the math
60
off?
times 60. No, 60
Yeah,
times
you're right.
60.
Yeah, you're
That's
right. Yeah,
3,600 square miles, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I was quickly looking up things that are 3,600 square miles. But I
Like
can't.
the entire Los Angeles area.
Nothing's popping up real quick, but
It's like it's
alright.
got its own gangs and shit in it now. Its own
Exactly.
culture.
So, however, the wind had other ideas and shook the carpet to teach him humility, knocking 40. Okay, so I just want to get this straight for a second. So, not only is it 3,600 square miles, but is this fucking magic carpet sentient? Like, is it a fucking sentient being?
Well, I'm pretty
That's
sure
just
it's,
like.
it's God's magic carpet. So God was just like, you fucking stole my rug for an evening, you dickhead. And you're bragging about how great it is, so I'm gonna shake it for you.
All right, so it knocked off 40,000 people off the carpet to the ground, thousands of feet below, which again
Yeah.
I find fucking hilarious.
That sure
But-
showed King Solomon something.
Also,
Killed 40,000
Can you imagine how strong that wind had to be to fucking shake a 3,600 square mile carpet? Like,
40,000 people off.
dude, that's gotta be more than fucking like a fucking Category 5 hurricane. Like,
Meanwhile,
well,
in Japan, a tsunami hit the coast.
He was probably pretty high on it, so there's some big winds up there.
yeah, I guess so. All right, so another story recounts how Solomon got dunked on by ants while flying around on his big ass carpet. So let me read this and then I have a follow up question.
Okay.
Alright. One day, while chilling on his magical carpet like the Aladdin fucking badass he is, Solomon heard below him, "Look out! It's the evil Solomon! Hide!" And upon closer inspection, he realized that the voice was coming from an ant queen. So he dropped lower to ask what's up. The ant queen responded with a demand that she be treated as an equal to Solomon, and then followed that by claiming she was a better monarch than him. Solomon responded with, "Keep talking smack, and you're gonna get smacked." And the ant queen then pointed out that Solomon was born of an adulterous common man, and he ain't shit. Solomon flew away sadly as the Charlie Brown song played. So, are we talking like a realistically sized ant queen?
Yes. Well, okay, look, let's just take into a fucking account for
So
a second.
I'm
that
not
flying
the one
carpets
tripping
exist.
balls. I feel like King Solomon's the one tripping balls.
That's where you have a problem with the story, not the giant flying 360-foot carpet.
No, not at all. It's definitely a talking ant,
That's the
if
thing
I
that
had to
makes total
say.
sense.
Yeah, so
I'm just
Ant-Man
gonna
beat
say
him.
this. This is something I've never heard, but I like it.
But I like it. All right. Now we're getting into some really, I guess, sort of cool shit. This is America shit right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is America. All right. So clearly, Solomon attended special WoW events. For the
Absolutely.
uninitiated out there, it's World of Warcraft. We're
yeah.
not saying like "Wow!" exclamation. Because he
I
also
like
had an eagle mount. One of Solomon's bestest friends was a big ass eagle. He would send him to do errands and shit. I don't know what kind of errands. Maybe pick up some rabbits and shit like that. Some
There's all
owls.
kinds of stuff that Eagle could do for him because it was huge.
He would, although that being said, have you seen an eagle in real life?
Yeah,
They're big.
eagles are pretty big.
I did not realize how big those birds are. They are
No, they're giant.
massive.
They're like
But anyways,
condors.
so who would also put a giant throne of light on his back and ride him to the dark mountains, where God had chained up the fallen angels Uzzah and Aziel?
Azael.
Azael?
Yeah.
The eagle would perch on the chains, and Solomon would use his magical ring to compel the angels to tell him the secrets of the universe, which again is a fucking dick move.
You know, honestly,
I think it's
he
great.
should just
He's
throw
trying
the
to learn
fucking
stuff.
ring into Mount Doom. Because look, this guy is prototype Sauron. He's like flying around on eagles,
Well,
demanding stuff out of people and controlling everything, and then getting dunked on
I
by
mean-
Ant-Man.
these are I love how many of these he compiled because they're awesome.
All right. So next, we're going to be talking about a fucking magical robot throne, which again, fucking ridiculous.
I do want to point out he definitely went to BlizzCon, 100 BC. That's probably how he got his eagle mount.
All right.
Oh,
So
definitely.
King Solomon's throne sat at the top of a series of stairs, which bore dozens of golden animals on each side, including lions, eagles, wolves, tigers, camels, and peacocks. As Solomon ascended the steps, the robotic animals would stretch out their legs for support. At the top, metallic eagles. Or to trip them, right? Yeah.
What a trip.
At the top, what you don't know is that they were real animals, just painted gold.
Oh yeah.
At the top, metallic eagles lift him onto a seat, and then another robot eagle placed a crown on his head, and robotic eagles and lions provided shade. A golden dove would then place a Torah scroll on his lap, and Solomon would rest his feet on a footstool made of sapphires, brought down from the heavens by a demon. After his death, foreign kings looted his palace and throne. However, no one knew how it functioned, and many leaders were crippled by Solomon's robotic lions.
Solomon made mods for Earth. he was just like, this video game is boring. Let me give myself a fucking walking throne and have demons place a crown on my head every day.
And the assholes who try to loot it, I'm gonna make the lions fucking cripple them.
Oh man,
It just
dude!
says
It
TM
really,
Solomon.
I really feel like you could make like a badass graphic novel out of this guy.
Absolutely.
All right. So finally, yeah, we'll talk about this. Yeah, we got this. We can do this seriously, guys.
Look,
we are serious academics here. I made it weird. The way you wrote it is fucking weird as shit.
He has it. What else do you want me? How else could I have written this?
Okay, so finally, King Solomon had a magic worm.
Yeah, makes sense.
When Solomon was building his temple, he wanted it to be a monument to peace, so he couldn't cut the rocks with anything destructive, i.e. pickaxes. So he sought after a magical worm called a shamir that could cut even diamonds with just a gaze, which still sounds destructive, but whatever. To locate this worm, Solomon asked his buddy Asmodeus where it could be found. Asmodeus told him that the worm had been entrusted to a mountain cock by an angel. The cock had sworn to guard it against all humans. Solomon searched far and wide for this magic cock, though he wasn't able to find it. He found its nest. Or pubes. So he covered the nest with glass. When the cock proudly arrived, it was confused and couldn't break the glass, no matter how many times he thrust it at it. The cock went to get his buddy, the magic worm, so they could tag team the glass and penetrate it to free his nest.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, the way you wrote this.
No, they're attacking the glass. I don't see how you can take this any other way. He was very clearly slamming his head against the glass. You know, he was thrusting at it, this magic cock. And he was just like, I need to get a second worm in here, and maybe together we can tag team this.
All right, well, the cock came back. Solomon scared it with a mighty shout, or Viagra, forcing it to drop the worm, which Solomon grabbed. Distraught from losing the worm, the cock limply killed itself. Which I'm just picturing like fucking 900 BCE, this cock just like pulling out a Glock, just fucking blasting its brains out.
I mean, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know, Solomon had a magical walking fucking car, so we could just make whatever we want at this point.
I just want to say that the magic worm story is one that's in the Old Testament.
See, they talk about cocks and worms in the Old Testament.
The shamir is the magic worm. So silly.
I'm looking this up.
Just type in magical cocks.
So there's a little backstory with Asmodeus and the angels and shit, but yeah.
All right. Just very quickly, we're gonna go over just what the keys of Solomon are, because those are gonna be the reason we're talking about King Solomon is because the next how many episodes? A lot of them, right?
We're gonna do 2 episodes on the keys of Solomon, the greater one which deals with good magic.
Oh, okay, so we're each okay, so each one's getting their own episodes.
Yeah.
So we have the Greater Key of Solomon, which is a book filled with magical ass spells and rituals. Not ass magical spells, mind you, or magical spells about ass. Just magical ass spells.
Well, there are some about asses, but
you can make one of his 1,000 wives ass bigger with that spell book.
So, and then the Lesser Key of Solomon, which was not written by. So the Greater Key of Solomon was written by Solomon, or written by Solomon.
Supposedly, probably.
In a nutshell, the Greater King of Solomon was a book he left to his son to teach him the ways of magic. He's like, if you want to know what I do, read this book. The Lesser Key
didn't read it.
Actually,
so really, all these religious institutions just took hold of it, but Solomon was just like a fucking scary ass, badass fucking wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Absolutely.
This makes wow, this actually changes my fundamental perception of fucking King Solomon now. He's
No, you're
basically the
100%
fucking
right.
Gandalf of fucking history.
It's almost
Yeah.
like, hear me out, Alex. It's almost like the world is one giant computer program,
Oh my god.
and
My
King
God.
Solomon was just writing in lines of code for himself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving along.
You know
And
what? I'll buy that one. I like it.
the Lesser Key of Solomon was not written by Solomon, but still a bestiary of demons and what they do and how they act and how I'm assuming how you can enslave them and defeat them and
Yeah.
Take advantage of
them
them.
and
Yeah.
Basically, it's how to
tickle
summon
their
demons.
taints.
The Lesser Key of Solomon, in a nutshell, is a way to summon various types of demons, which we're going to talk about, and
Yeah.
ask them questions. Like, some of them can do stuff for you, like they'll steal gold and put it somewhere else. Others can
You
give you the
know
secrets of existence.
what we should
Yeah.
do as a paid thing is we should video record ourselves doing a ritual to summon a demon.
Nope.
Uh,
No.
Nope. So
No, look,
okay, so here's the thing
you don't
about
fuck with
here's the thing
chaos
about the
magic.
Lesser Key. Yeah. Here's the thing about the Lesser Key of Solomon. The only one who could use it successfully was him. Like,
Well, maybe it's like the lottery. Maybe we'll win. Maybe we'll successfully start using it.
Listen, here's
yeah,
the
we'd
thing.
have about the same odds. Yeah.
There's good magic and then there's chaos magic. Good magic is
Yeah.
like trying to bring about better things for everybody. That would be the greater key of
Yeah.
Solomon. And then there's chaos magic, which is where you can bring about dark things and royally fuck up your reality. Now whether
Or
they're
you could even
they're
Yeah.
demons or any type of evil entity within any religion, it all goes to the same beat. You bring them in, and unless you're proficient at banishing them, they're gonna hang around.
Yeah. Just think about John Constantine. Like constantly, he's always like, I gotta do a spell. I gotta talk to a demon, but none of you people who are with me right now look, because I'm the only one who can fucking deal with this shit.
I think we could deal with it. I mean, apparently I got ghosts running around my house, and I'm doing fine.
What's that? I don't know. I'd say the last person that could really deal with it was probably Crowley.
And he barely did.
Yeah.
He was no Solomon.
He wasn't like, let's bust out the Ouija board on a Friday night. He was like, let's prepare about 15,000 different things in the months leading up to pulling out the Ouija board. And then hopefully we can send it back to whatever plane of existence that we draw from.
I'm not gonna come or do drugs for 3 months while I'm staying in a fucking mansion at Loch Ness.
So
I
do you want to?
think we could do it. You guys
wanna
are
just
just
not-
fucking
I would lose within a week because I would
Cowards.
rub one out within a week.
cowards. Cowards, I say. Cowards.
And so would all of you.
I have a girlfriend. She would not be happy.
Yeah, I'm
All
just
right.
like, hold on, I'm gonna summon a demon chick. So
Good.
I'm gonna. I mean, we could try Lilith. Bow chicka bow
I-
wow.
Hey,
Look,
he probably doesn't look anything like the version Diablo 4's got.
Look, you say that now, but I firmly believe Blizzard is run by demons.
I actually think Lilith doesn't even look like a demon. She's just a hot chick.
Yeah, she's actually the hottest chick.
I mean, she is. Yeah.
Supposedly.
Anyways, I go back to Hellblazer and read any John Constantine storyline, like all the way through, and I know it's just a comic book, but like it's a good lesson in the Lesser Key of Solomon.
I'm gonna do it. Well, I'll video myself, and we can put it on the Patreon.
This is how Alex becomes president. He's going to summon a demon and ask for presidency. And the next thing you know, he's worshiping an owl god in Bohemian Grove.
Don't tell Alex that we let a bobcat loose in his room.
Yeah, there's no bobcat
And
in
they-
the room. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's a ghost. I swear to God.
Also, leave some food out about twice a day.
I'll leave the food out twice. Otherwise, you will be the food twice a day.
It's
all right.
an ocelot, actually.
So let's go over some evidence of King Solomon. Scholars
Yes.
and archaeologists agree that a man named Solomon probably existed. There was a united monarchy in Israel in the 10th century BCE. Though the biblical descriptions were likely exaggerated. For
No
instance,
shit.
the bajillion wives were more than likely a cautionary tale against adultery and peer pressure.
Idolatry.
Idolatry. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jerusalem was also probably a lot smaller, though signs do point to extensive commerce happening around that time. It's also possible that Solomon's devotion to God was also greatly over-exaggerated, probably like any fucking prophet in history. But he built many temples to many deities. Some scholars and archaeologists would argue that he devoted nature. Deals struck with God and his fall from grace were all written much later than Solomon's time, using court records from his reign. I have a firm belief that the world was not more religious in the past. It's just so much
No.
time has gone by and those institutions have co-opted the history. But I feel like those
Well,
motherfuckers were probably
well,
just like religious people today, right?
I
well,
mean,
there's also
I truly
yeah.
believe 1,000 years from now, people are going to be like, the prophet L. Ron Hubbard came to us
Oh god,
and
dude,
talked
I
about the
just
evil aliens taking over our bodies.
I can't even. I don't know how he got away with
No,
that. It's fucking
they're gonna
ridiculous.
they're gonna it's not gonna be L. Ron Hubbard. It's gonna be Warren Jeffs. Come on.
Elon Musk arrived at us at a
Oh,
time of need and
A
turned Twitter
thousand
into
years ago,
X.
there was a great battle between the one we know as Musk and the one we know as Hubbard. They fought for 40 days and 40 nights.
oh my
Musk was
God.
led into the desert and he walked there for 90 days without food or water before Hubbard appeared before him and said, I can give you anything you wish.
Oh my God.
I really think that the three of us should write a book together. Like either a graphic novel or I think the three of us could really make something special.
I think we could do a comic book or a graphic novel.
Oh, we
Absolutely.
could make something special. That's what I'm saying.
Or I mean,
You
even
guys
an
would just have to
animated
let me out
series.
of this room.
Well, yeah. So
Uh,
okay, there,
Go ahead,
go ahead.
Max.
Well, no, I was gonna let you finish this because
All right, all
there's
right.
some historic facts
So,
there.
all right. So the exaggeration would coincide with the narrative that the church is always trying to weave for its congregation, which is
Yeah.
kind of what I brought
So
up. So go ahead.
so there is historical fact that, or like historical evidence, right? A lot of what we know of Solomon was from one of his descendants. His name was Josiah, and it was it was very unfavorable. So like the court records weren't even like written at his time, and even the writings that we have of Solomon, like the Key of Solomon, are pseudo biographical. So like they are written. It's a book written from his writings and teachings, but not by him necessarily,
You
like
know,
historically.
so it's going to be Putin then. There'll be like a great prophet rode a bear shirtless.
If 1,000 years from now Putin is considered a fucking prophet, I will come back and I will destroy all of fucking humanity. Be like, you do not deserve to live. Okay, so a few artifacts have reportedly been found. Reportedly.
Uh-huh.
The signet ring was supposedly found during a raid on a thief's house in Turkey. And interestingly enough, they also found some steel meat in the refrigerator.
It did. It's crazy.
Oh
No,
my god.
the
They
mines of
found
Solomon.
baby steel pellets.
The mines. Oh, okay. This one I need you to explain. So the mines of Solomon were supposedly found in the Timnia Valley,
Tamina.
Tamina Valley via
Yeah.
animal dung. Okay.
Because they were like,
Can
no
anybody
animal shits like this.
can
Well,
anybody
no,
please explain to me? Yeah,
yeah.
explain to me how animal dung led to the mines of Solomon.
Because if you have donkey shit in the area, they were
Yeah.
most likely using it to clear out mines.
And you can date donkey shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was like
Yeah.
fossilized donkey shit.
Poop is
Yeah.
actually a great way to
No,
date
alright,
anything in
then
history.
I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. When I was when I was reading that via Animal Dung, I was like, why would fresh dog shit tell us anything about fucking like 2200 years ago? Like
Once
They
again,
didn't have
year
tunnel
3000.
boring machines. Come on. They
The,
had
the
fucking mules.
the year 3000 scientists are going to be like, the presence of this dog shit on the sidewalk represents that people didn't clean up after their pets after walking them.
Yeah,
PSA, you should always clean up after your animals.
absolutely.
Unless it's your own property.
Or unless you're in the woods and the dog's going to shit there, and then, people aren't going to go walking
Yeah.
through your dog shit.
No
It
one,
depends.
no one knows when the Pope shits in the woods.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, if the Pope shits in the woods, does it make a sound? Um, um, the dog shit in the woods thing, it depends on the woods. Because if you're like in federal land or anything like that, you
Well,
really
I
should.
mean,
Because
don't
there's
go to
more
fucking
preservatives,
Rivendell and have your
and
dog
they.
shit all over the place.
Oh,
But, you know, if it's,
Rivendell.
if it's a
um,
If it's a wooded area that people aren't going to walk through, like elves and Lord of the Rings.
yeah, but the problem, no, it's not about the people. It's about the wildlife because it fucks
Yeah.
up their habitat. Anyways.
Yeah.
And there were also a couple sites that could be the foundation for his palace have been discovered. The most notable one in Gazar.
Bizarre? I don't know where that is, but
Though, and we all know this is special
I
guest
love
This is
this
it.
analysis.
100%.
Favorite theory, though it could be aliens.
It's probably
Aliens,
aliens.
aliens could have
Probably.
helped him amass this much material. Furthermore, there are potential links between ancient Egypt and aliens, and Solomon was cozy with the Egyptians, aka the aliens, because we all know it fucking always comes down to motherfucking aliens.
I feel like every
I mean-
one of our podcast episodes could end with, or it could be aliens.
absolutely. The Yuletide lads absolutely could be 13 fucking aliens.
What's that? Skinwalker Ranch? Aliens.
Yeah. Actually, even better, the 13 Yule lads could be 13 of the what do they call them? The Nordics?
Oh yeah,
Aren't they an alien? Yeah.
the Viking race that like kicks ass all across the universe.
Or also the you could also call them the Aryans.
Oh my god, no, okay, no.
Oh my god, do we think Nazis were fucking aliens?
No, Nazis were not aliens. Okay, look,
Nazis.
No. They just wanted to be aliens.
they wanted
Was
to be aliens.
Hitler an alien?
Oh, don't
You know
Google
you're
that.
going
Oh
to
my
get an
God.
answer for that. This is going to lead to a fucking rabbit hole that you will never get out of.
Wow.
It's like first evidence that he was an alien. He was shitty at painting.
Oh, he had no room for the alien or no use for the wastrel. Apparently, Adolf Hitler didn't like aliens.
Well, that's
I
why he
think that might
lost.
be like illegal aliens, but
Oh,
like
I know
people
what he
from other
means by
places.
alien. Yeah, I know. I should probably. Oh, this is the Guardian. Why the fuck are they quoting Hitler on the Guardian? What the fuck is
Relevant
going
in
on here?
2023.
2024.
I mean, does it
2024.
surprise me? Does it surprise me that the Guardian is quoting Hitler? No, it doesn't. But like,
I mean, it's not as it's more surprising than like Moms for Liberty quoting the Hitler, but
Actually, if I'm
Um,
right, I think Hitler thought himself above aliens. Like
I don't
some
know.
of the
How the-
conspiracy theories are that he was.
I'm
No,
sorry.
hear
I
me
should.
out. Hear me out. Some of the
I shouldn't have
conspiracy
brought up
theories
Nazis.
about fucking aliens. Yeah, we always talk about Nazis.
We
Some of
always
the
talk about Nazis.
conspiracies about the
I can always
aliens
bring it around to Nazis.
is that they approached the Russians, the Germans, and the Americans. And Germany was like, we don't need your fucking technology because we're just that great. And America listened, and that's why we developed, what we did.
You know why I don't like the show Ancient Aliens? I'm gonna just, and this kind of plays into that, but like the idea that we got microprocessors from the Roswell crash is insulting to every engineer who worked
Yeah,
on microprocessors. I
No,
know
I think
Tesla was talking to Martians,
I
but
think
that's
it's
different.
I think it's far more plausible that we created the atomic bomb And then the aliens kind of stepped in and were like, hey guys,
I
we need to
also
slow it down.
I also get annoyed with those conspiracy theories where they're like, well, look how much technology has
Yeah.
advanced in the last, and it's like, bro, we've only had science for like 600 years. Like, the methodology of science is only like 600 years old. Like, it's like, so like for you to be like, well, where did this all come from? Well,
Yeah.
prior to that, there wasn't like science.
Well, on the
I blame the
astrological front,
smartphone.
we're actually entering the age of Aquarius, which is the age of enlightenment. It's when we shed religion and pick up knowledge as our essential guiding force for humanity.
Yeah, well, that's going so well in America right now, huh?
Well, it's for better or worse. That's what's happened in the past 50 years. And if you want to look at it in a more fun, fucking scientific point of view, we've effectively connected the world with the internet. So that means ideas can travel much faster between humans,
Which is a bad thing.
which is a bad thing.
Honestly.
But it also leads
Because
to giant leaps in advancement.
we've learned that the average human's ideas are pretty awful.
Yeah.
Give everybody a fucking smart. This is the problem. I blame smartphones. I blame Apple for this. You give everybody a smartphone, and they all of a sudden like have the power of the internet in their hand. And what do? It's either porn or it's QAnon.
But listen, guys, all this talk about internet and like King Solomon has truly helped me appreciate the true prophet that we have in this world, Elon Musk, and what he's doing for humanity.
Don't even joke. Don't even. Not here. Not ever. Not with me here. Absolutely not.
Alongside his sidekick Putin.
Fucking putting a stop to that.
Did I ever tell you my theory on why I changed it to X?
No, but I would love to
Okay.
hear this.
Okay. So, if you're reading an article like on CNN or like any news site, and they put the tweet in there, if you look at the tweet, the X is in the top right hand corner, and I have done this thinking that it would close the tweet, and it takes me to fucking Twitter or X or whatever it is. I think he did that so that he'd get more clicks. Because I'm like, I don't want to see this tweet. Click.
I mean, for someone who's supposedly a genius, it didn't really work out. It's kind of genius, but didn't really work out all that well. Since I'm pretty sure fucking Twitter is about to fucking go bankrupt.
I mean, I do like the fact that they immediately jacked the vice president of Twitter's handle as soon as it became live. Like when they switched over to X, they grabbed her name before she could claim it, and they started posting stuff on Twitter like, "Where do I find or who owns X videos?" So.
I love it. Can we talk about King Solomon just real quick?
So, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I think that's it.
Well, no, I just wanted to say we have a thing that says discussion of the possibility King Solomon. And I just thought I'd mention that, like, he's definitely a real person. And a lot of the, like, I love the esoteric shit, the magical shit. But I think, like, the breakdown of, like, well, he maybe wasn't like, he wasn't as religious or as God-fearing as everybody thought. He's just open-minded is a good summary of all of it.
Well, honestly, after researching this, and as I said at the beginning, it's far more likely that King Solomon turned over his empire to his son, and his son just drove it into the ground.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I do have a new theory because I played this game recently that opened my eyes called Remedy 2, which proposes that the entire universe is a giant computer program in all the multiverses. So King Solomon, probably before firewalls were in place, started inputting his own codes into the program and gave himself infinite lives. What do you think about that one, Alex?
I think he had a universal debugger, and he was able to find all kinds of memory leaks.
Don't feed into his delusions, you motherfucker.
Dude, so we were playing Revenant 2 last night, and he's like, so the whole fucking thing is a computer program? What a cop-out. And I'm like, well, you could say life is a computer program. And he's like, I don't buy that, because it wouldn't matter anyways, whether it was or not, everything would be the same. And I'm like, you got pissed off at a philosophical question and answered it with a philosophical answer. So whether or not you want to be, you are part of this discussion, Alex.
Well, he is a philosopher.
He's a philosopher.
All right, let's. I'm wrapping this up before we start fucking talking about goddamn fucking reality being a fucking simulation for 2
Alex
hours.
is a philosophist.
All right.
Totally a philosophist. You are probably the greatest fister I've ever known, Alex.
Me too. Yeah, you're the best fister I've ever seen. No, it's more like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really just gotta shove it in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can find an uncut version of the show on Twitch and YouTube. Complete audio and edited versions of the show can be found wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can join our Patreon at www.patreon.com/Crook Irish Studios. If you're interested in learning more about any of the topics discussed here, you can start by finding a list of our sources under the description of each episode on your preferred platform. And as always, you can email us, aka Max, at crookirish.studios@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And
I check it probably once a week.
I'd like to follow that up with a shout out to our audience. Guys, we're here because you're here. Everybody that tunes in and listens to us and enjoys the podcast, we do it because of you. So thank you for continuing to show up each week and supporting us.
Agreed. Thank you so much.
Also, a shout out to John Zara for allowing us to finish with Old Lang Syne. The mods on the channel as well. That is Oniram93. That is ONIRAM93. Go check him out on Twitch. We also have other people that participated in discussions today. That is Lord of Old Doorframes. That is LORDOFALLDOORFRAMES and Spider Dude 200. SPIDERDUDE 200. They are also on Twitch. Go give them a follow. Is there anything else we want to follow that with?
Yeah, I now have 1,640 Crooks coins.
I am gonna push the goalpost on all of those, so you can't just start redeeming shit in the middle of the show. Guys,
I love myself.
We'll be back next week with the Greater King or Key of Solomon, followed by the Lesser Key of Solomon, followed by multiple podcasts dealing with the princes, the dukes, the kings, and the marquis of hell, as well as Lilith, hellhounds, and various other fun things that we're going to discuss dedicated to the hellish realm.
Yeah.
I think exorcisms are in there somewhere.
Love me some hell.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
And that's that. So let me go ahead and play the music so we can see ourselves out of here. Guys,
oh hey,
I am Kenny Crook Irish Kirby. We will see you next week for the Greater Key of Solomon. Keep it weird.
I'm Maxwell Murder, and I'm looking forward to the Greater Key of Solomon and Dial M for Murder.
I am special guest Alex, and I'm almost positive that I am being haunted at this point.
Finally, real evidence. Also, I like Dial M for Murder. That's a good call or a good ending.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, look, Alex, I would play Remnant, and I do plan on playing Remnant 2 again. But I think tonight I'm just going to continue to sleep on my bedbug-free memory foam mattress that I got from Best Western, and continue to eat bonbons and watch Friends.
That's fine. I'm going to bed.
Hey, some guy registered the StoneGauntlet.com, and he's trying to get us to buy it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm just checking the emails.
Let him have it. Fuck it. Because
I don't give a fuck.
our actual website, when we make it, won't be called that.
No. It'll be like Crook Irish Studios.
Yeah, great.
Well,
now
why-
they're gonna go
why-
buy that.
Yeah, why would you say that?
Oh, are
Now
you
we
still
gotta
live?
call it Crook Irish's podcast.